All right, everybody out in STEM land. Mr. Tyler and myself on this lovely day, we have the honor of having the one and only Raider fan in STEM lab, Miss Dopler. So, Miss Dopler, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's a nice sunny day and feeling good.
Excellent. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Mr. Tyler, you want to take it from here?
I just think that before we start anything, we just need to represent the real team in the house here.
Ready?
You know,
Go!
Another
Broncos!
washed up quarterback.
Go!
Broncos!
All right. Sorry.
There. We had to get that out of our system. Sorry, Miss Dopler.
All good. Everyone's allowed to have their moment. This will be yours.
So we're going to go ahead and I'll get started with the first set of questions here. Just start with your name, and we already know it's your first year here at STEM. So just your name and where did you teach before you came to STEM?
Sure. My name is Mrs. Dopler, Allison Dopler. Yes, it is my first year at STEM, teaching middle school social studies. Before that, I was right across the park for the last 4 years over at Holstrom K-8, teaching middle school science, social studies, and language arts. And then before that, I taught at 2 different high schools, social studies, which was really geography and psychology.
Cool. And where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Southern California, and as a kid, I had the LA Raiders, so that was my home team and how I became a fan. But yeah, I grew up in a city called Rancho Cucamonga, so most people think it's a made-up place. It's real. I went to Rancho Cucamonga High School, and I lived there until I was 19 when I moved to Colorado.
Okay. And tell us about your family, including any pets.
Sure. Immediate family, I have my husband Joe, and we have kind of collectively 4 boys. His 2 boys are a little bit older, Joey and Jason. They're now 24 and 20. We have an exchange student this year from Spain, and that's Juan. He's a sophomore at Mountain Range High School. And then my son Owen is 11, and he is in 5th grade at STEM Lab. We have 3 dogs, large dogs. We have a Great Dane named Rocky, a black lab named Forte, and a mutt we got from the pound, and we call her Petty, after Tom Petty.
Oh, I love those names. Love those names for those dogs. Why have you decided to make STEM Lab your home?
Well, a lot of it was not just my choice, but my son's choice to come here this year as well. He has kind of really brought me into the coding world a little bit, and over the last few years at his old school. And he kind of maxed out with what they were able to do with him there and wanted to do more. And so he got me into that kind of engineering and coding aspect. And so that's when he was like, Mom, we should check this out. And I heard this school is, opening a whole nother round. He had done all this research on it and was really excited about it. And he got into the school before I got the job. So he was kind of my leeway and encouragement to apply. And I thought it was great. I really wanted to go back to just focusing in on social studies. And over at Holstrom, I was teaching 3 different contents. And while I liked it and I really enjoyed my time there, I wanted to go back to what I went to college for, which was history. And so STEM also gave me that opportunity to really just focus in on history and to provide an elective around history. And so that for me was like a win-win. And with yearbook and National Junior Honor Society, that Ms. Tellinger and Mr. Shields really gave me opportunities to plant roots here and, hopefully stay for a long time.
Well, we're happy that you're with us. And speaking of STEM, what is the best part of your job?
Ooh, okay. Well, yes, the students. I feel like we always should say the students first. Yes, the students, because they make me laugh. Oh, God, they make me laugh so hard each day. And my kids know when I'm hyper and when I'm not, and they call me out when I'm not. And I think that's really good because they always hold me accountable. But the staff here especially is so much fun. I have a good time with my hallmates, the people that I get to see just in my wing. Sometimes we have electives teachers come down and use the room right across from me because I happen to be across from like a Lego lab / tech room with a green room on the other side of it. I mean, there's all kinds of auxiliary or community learning rooms. And so that's where I get to see a lot of different people come, and kids from younger ages and stuff come up as well. So I feel like I'm also in a really good location that I get to see all of these people all the time, and teachers from different grades, not just, the same people that maybe you get to see traditionally. But I think my favorite part is getting to interact with our staff because they're fun and they're silly. And I feel like there's no, old staff and new staff anymore. I really feel like, just a couple weeks into school, it became everybody was on the same page and everybody was from the same place. And I thought that was awesome.
Ms. Dopler, what is one positive thing that has come out of being in quarantine?
Oh. I'm working out every day now. That never happened before. Mr. Brenner knows, my partner in crime there. He always works out and is trying to encourage me to get out, and I'm not. I don't. I like to instead go to Chick-fil-A and Taco Bell. But now that I'm home every single day, I've been outside, I've been riding bikes or been on my treadmill or been running my dogs outside. So I feel like it's actually made me healthier being at home, where some people are just kind of hanging out, eating all day. I'm like, I've actually gotten time to be active. And I think that that's been really important, because now that I'm just sitting in front of screens all day, I have to have that time to be active and kind of release some of my energy as well.
Awesome. Well, all right, my turn. Okay, so, I really quick want to reflect on it. It's amazing to hear you say that the school really has embraced you, and you feel like, there's no old staff and new staff, and, that genuinely warms my heart. So we're so happy to have you, and I now owe Owen a lunch because he brought you here. So anyways, let him know that. All right.
He was all about it, man. He saw that promo video on your website with Mr. Helfrich, and he goes, I have to be in his class. I'm like, okay,
that's awesome.
Let's see what we can do.
That's so cool. That's so cool. All right, so my turn. All right, so now we're just going to get a little bit more specific. So how did social studies become your teaching passion?
Funny, it wasn't in high school. I did everything I could to not take history classes. I think it developed over time with just a little bit of U.S. travel. I haven't done a lot of world traveling, but my aunt and uncle and my cousins lived in Washington, D.C., and so I visited them a couple of times, and I thought that, wow, there was so much history there that I either didn't pay attention to when I was younger or was just unaware of. And I wanted to learn more about it. The more I was there, the more I wanted to learn about it. The more art I saw, the more background I wanted to know as to what caused this painting to occur. And it was really similar with music. The music that I listened to a lot of music from the 60s. I listened to a lot of music from the 70s. And so much of it was caused by events that were happening in time. And I wanted to go back and say, well, why did they write this? And what does that mean? And if we're talking about revolution, and I'm listening to the Beatles, it's like they're mentioning Chairman Mao, and I don't know anything about him, so I want to research him more, right? So I think a lot of it had to do with just my kind of life experiences as I became an adult, that I then said, wow, this stuff is so interesting, and I wish more people knew about it. And then so much more would make sense if they knew about these things. And so I wanted to kind of bring that into the classroom of, some of these jokes will make sense if you know these historical references, or these songs will make more sense if you know these historical references. So I think that's really where it came from.
That's awesome. And I can relate to that. I mean, there's a lot of research I've done based on songs I hear, where it's like, well, I really want to understand this better. So I'll go and dive into it. And I appreciate the music or the moment so much more. So excellent. All right. So I know you're a big golf fan. How did you get into golf?
So golf, we moved into an area just off a golf course. It's called The Ranch in Westminster. And we moved here. It'll be 6 years next month, and never picked up a golf club with the exception of like putt-putt golf, like at Boondocks or something. Had never played golf before, never had a golf club. Yeah, never. And then we moved here, and everybody was like, you gotta golf.
I'm learning a lot about you right now. I thought you had been golfing for like ever.
Never. I bought a shrink wrapped starter set or whatever at Target. And I used those the last 4 years, and I just bought my very first new reel set this year in March, last month. So yeah, as soon as school gets out, I'm on the course like 6 days a week in the summer. I love golf. It's just a way to be outside with nature and really kind of nothing else. I mean, you have a couple of friends, but it's not too much, at one time. Like, there's not too much stimulus. I don't need 50 or 30 people next to me at all times, but 3 friends at the most, right? So you have a foursome is what they call it in golf. And I love it. I think I just became addicted, one, because it was so mental. And since I'm such a physically active person, for me, having a mental game was really challenging. And I think I was like, well, I can do anything athletic, but I can't do everything mental because, it's slowing yourself down and finding that process. And, I still struggle with it, but I think that's a good challenge. It stretches my mind to try and, find my mental game, so to speak, with golf. I love it.
Yeah, that's the stretch for me, is the mental piece. I know I don't play golf. I go out and I hit a little white ball, and my hope one day is to, play golf. So, all right. So what is the most unique course you've ever played?
Ooh, the most unique course?
Or I guess the most enjoyable even.
Well, in Mexico, I would say, one, they have really cool animals that are running across the course. They're not the traditional, a bunny or a squirrel or whatever. Down in Colorado Springs, when I was golfing at the Broadmoor, we had a mama bear, a black bear, and then 2 baby bears running after her, go right across our fairway. Everybody was just like, oh my God. But then once they ran across one fairway, there was 4 more. And so everybody on the whole course got to see these bears run across, and that was the coolest thing.
That's amazing. And the Broadmoor is just an amazing course too.
Hey, my dogs, sorry.
They're just saying hi. It's all good.
Yeah. But I mean, and that is a fantastic course. I've only been able to play it once, but I was fortunate enough to be asked to play in a tournament, and I was really grateful for that. But Mexico is so cool. There's so much sand, but the sand is like flat stuff. It's like you're hitting off of a fairway because there is so much of it, and it's just cool to see cactus and all the different kinds of animals that come out of the cactus all the time. It's not like traditional, just a bird, right? You see like these things coming out of holes on the cactus everywhere. And so I feel like Mexico is a lot of fun just because it's so different than what I'm used to here.
Yeah. Excellent. That's awesome. All right. So we're going to get into a little bit of Raider talk, and I am being 100% serious. I want to know your opinion on this. So Jon Gruden,
he really is. Okay.
Yeah. Jon Gruden is your current head coach, but
Becky,
he was your coach previously, built up the team, left, then played them in the Super Bowl the next year and beat them, and then now he's back. What are your how do you feel about Jon Gruden? Because that's
I am happy to have him home. I love Chucky. I think Jon Gruden is great for us. I'm happy that he is home, and I'm trying to get my son to dress up as him for Halloween because he already has the red hair.
So no hard feelings that he left?
No hard feelings. I mean,
here?
It's hard with any professional sport, right? Because no matter how much you love somebody, like we have a dog named Forte. My husband's a Bears fan, right? So we named him after Matt Forte. Well, Matt Forte then went to the Jets, right? Luckily, right after we got our dog and named him Forte.
Yeah.
Then he went to the Jets. Well, luckily he did come back and retire as a Bear, which was nice, for us.
Yeah.
So we didn't just have like a weird Jets player Bear dog, but no, I think that it's hard with professional sports to, just to say, this is my person. And you want to follow that person to some degree. It's hard to say the same with, any player, just like it would be with a coach. But I'm happy that he's home because I think that he belongs with the Raiders. I think that he gets them. And unfortunately, he gets them so well that when it's time to play them, he knows every weakness. He knows every strength.
Absolutely.
That's how he can beat us.
He signed a record contract, 10 years for an NFL coach. That's unheard of. So that just tells you the dedication he has to that team and how he's been embraced by the organization, which I think is awesome. I really do. All right. So tell me about, how do you feel about them moving to Las Vegas?
I'm excited. I'm so happy. So Oakland is great. I've been to Oakland way more times than I ever really wanted to go. And the Black Hole was really cool. I didn't like having to share a stadium with the A's. And so part of the year it was a baseball field in the middle of your football field. And that wasn't cool. But, you got to do what you got to do. And there's such limited space up in Northern California already. So when they said that they were going to make the move to Vegas, I was right on board. We love to go to Vegas already. So for me, it's like, I'm just going to be out there even more. We got our PSL. We have our season tickets already in place. My husband bought me a brick for their inaugural year. So I have a brick with my name on it at Raiders Stadium starting this year.
Oh, wow.
So I'm so stoked. I'm so happy that they're in Vegas. And the stadium is awesome. I've been out, 12, 15 times to check it out, the construction along the way. And so it's been big. And so it's like I have pictures of me from like everything's demolished to just struts to, just cement outings to I went in February for my last time, was the last visit there, where it's almost completely coated in this awesome shiny black all over. And I mean, it looks incredible, but that's kind of what you get with the new stadium. Anywhere it would be incredible.
Well, especially in Vegas, though.
Adding it to
just
Vegas
adds to that.
It's got to be over the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And
Cool.
I think Vegas is happy to have them, too, as part of their family.
Well, and honestly, like I'm excited because it's a close destination where I can go and see one of the best rivalries in football. So I'm really excited about it too.
And every year, right? Because we're in this, league there every single year.
Yep.
Same conference, we get to play each other twice a year. So once here we can watch it, and then once there.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So you have mentioned Tom Petty a couple times in this interview already. So I just wanted to kind of get the background as to how he became, your favorite musician.
Yes, Tom Petty. Oh man, probably the saddest day of my entire life was the day I found out Tom Petty passed away.
I think Tom Petty could be most described as like the soundtrack of my life. My dad said that from the time I was about 2 years old in the back of his truck, I was belting out Free Fallin' and some of those more popular songs in the early 90s. And I'm such a big fan. There's an artist that you connect with, and the lyrics that they sing, you find meaning in. And I think that there's almost every Tom Petty song I have found at some point that has related to my life. And so for me, he was such a big influence. And when my husband and I got married, all of our tables had Tom Petty songs as our tables. And for like, which table are you at? Oh, I'm at the Free Fallin' table. I'm at the Won't Back Down table, whatever. And my dad and I danced to a Tom Petty song at our wedding. And so, I think that his music had touched me. I saw him 13 times in concert, including his last one at the Hollywood Bowl.
Wow.
Named a dog after him. I mean, he's just been very inspirational for me. And so I had a really hard time when he passed away, and I found out in the middle of a class. And I think more people in my life collectively reached out to me when he died than anybody else in my life. Because everyone knew me since I was little. They were like, you were the biggest Tom Petty fan I knew. So when I heard he died, the first person I thought of was you. And I thought, that was really great. And that was really nice that, people connect me to him. And I've got an album of him up there. It's all autographed. But I wish I could have met him. It's the one thing I didn't ever do, is I've never got to meet him.
This is really cool, Allison, or Miss Dopler, because my mom, her favorite musician of all time is Tom Petty. And I've seen Tom Petty twice in concert, and one was with my mom. And the other one happened to be with my favorite band, Pearl Jam. That was one of the most epic shows I've ever seen. Pearl Jam, who nowadays they're the headliner, but they opened for Petty even in their prime. And it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. So I have a special connection to Tom Petty too. So I enjoy his music immensely as well. So it's cool that we have some sort of connection, even though we're Bronco Raider. And anyway, all right. So now we're going to go into the lightning round. So for the lightning round, it's this or that, yes or no, your gut instinct. just to kind of, yep. And if you're taking too long, I'm going to buzz you, and it's just screaming in your ear, so we don't want that. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Driver or putter?
Ooh, driver.
Par 3 or par 5?
Par 5.
Oakland Raiders, Los Angeles Raiders, or Las Vegas Raiders?
Los Angeles Raiders.
All right. Will Derek Carr be the Raiders starting quarterback next season?
Yes.
How many games will the Raiders win next season?
10.
She hesitated. All right. All right, here we go. Free Fallin' or American Girl?
American Girl.
Mary Jane's Last Dance or Refugee?
Refugee.
I Won't Back Down or Learning to Fly?
Oh, Learning to Fly.
See, I did my research.
Sounds like a tie.
All right. Favorite Tom Petty song of all time?
American Girl.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of felt like it was going that way.
Yeah.
So that's my ringtone. That's what I sing at my favorite karaoke establishment.
Yeah, I can only imagine that when you go do karaoke, that Tom Petty's always top of the list.
Oh, yeah. If that, or like my husband and I will do Stop Dragging My Heart Around. So I do Stevie Nicks and he'll do Tom or something.
So, Ms. Dopler, since all of our questions are actually out of the way, we just wanted to give you an opportunity, give out one last message to the students, the staff, the parents, whatever you want to say, the floor is yours.
Well, thanks, guys. I just really want to say thanks for this opportunity to be at STEM Lab. It's been awesome so far. Unfortunately, with my first year kind of being cut short live with kids is not ideal, and it's been, I think, difficult for a lot of us. But at the same time, I think we're finding fun ways to stay connected, and whether it's through like a vocab jam or a Kahoot, or just during our live office hours, I'm really grateful that we still get that opportunity to see each other and joke around. And I send my 7th grade class memes all the time, and they call me Karen. And so I send them Karen memes all the time. And so we have a really good time. But I'm just grateful to be at STEM Lab, and I'm really excited about the next few years and what that brings. And I'm excited for my kid as he moves into middle school at STEM Lab too, because I love our environment and what we have going on. So I'm so happy he gets to be a part of it. And that's really it. Stay safe, and let me know if you need anything from me or from any of your teachers or support staff. We're all here for you. We want to be here for you. We'd rather just be in the building with you. But it's been a pleasure, and I'm excited what's to come. And I'm excited to beat the Broncos twice this season.
Go
Broncos!
All right. Well,
Raider Nation!
Thank you, Ms. Dopler. We appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule. So have a good rest of your week, and we'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Ms.
Thank you so
Dopler.
much, guys.
Bye.